lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and cussed their teachers and took the name of the Lord in vain and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken down tool house. There were 6 of them. Ralph, Imogen, Leroy, Claude, and Gladys. They went around the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. They went around town the same way, stealing things, tearing things up, whamming kids. It was so hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
We are afraid because there are no hermits there, and Jesus loves.
That's my little brother Charlie. That's what he says when the Sunday school teacher asked him what his favorite thing about church was. But Charlie said, no herdmans. That made the teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things and good feelings about God and Jesus. But old Charlie told the real truth, no herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. All that other stuff is okay, but the main good thing about church is that the herdmen aren't there. And
That doesn't sound like a very Christian sentiment to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year just because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
they're all the worst one.
Ralph is the biggest. So if Ralph gets
That
you,
doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast, and she's mean, and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I say. Stay away from them. They're dirty.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
Why?
No argument this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everyone's in it. Think how I would feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own 2 children weren't in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Actually, I didn't plan to go.
Oh.
You know how it is. It's so crowded they could use my seat. I'll just stay home, relax, put on my bathrobe. Nothing different ever happens in the pageant anyway.
Something different's gonna happen this year.
Oh yeah? What?
Charlie's gonna wear your bathrobe.
You just thought that up, Grace.
why don't you meet Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to meet Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph. Just because his father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
Well, what are you gonna be, Grace? Grace, that's Grace. You're Beth. Beth, what are you gonna be?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Why couldn't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
Hasn't been an issue in the past. Seems to me like Silent Night always sounds like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets?
Oh boy, some choice. A bathrobe or a bed sheet. Dad, can we go watch TV?
Yeah, for 20 minutes.
You know, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard every year to make sure people have a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just loves running things.
They're right. Helen Armstrong loves running everything. She runs the Christmas pageant. She runs the potluck supper. She's chairman of the bazaar. I think she'd preach the sermon on Sunday if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Maybe she'll run the hospital. That's where she is. I just ran into George at the drugstore. He said she fell and broke her leg this morning. She'll be in the hospital for 2 weeks in traction and won't get out until the first of the year.
The first of the year?
Yeah.
They'll have to cancel Christmas.
She runs Christmas now?
Well, she runs the pageant, she runs the bazaar. I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all those things?
All right, Edna. I will run the bazaar. You take over the potluck dinner. But what we'll do about the pageant, I have no... Unless... What about Grace?
I'm sorry, Edna. I just can't. I've got family in town all of Christmas week. What about Grace? Hello, Grace. Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does this mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It's always the same old Christmas story, the same old Christmas carols, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that bothered my mother, that and Mrs. Armstrong.
I tell you again, Grace, it's important to give everyone a chance. Now here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I explain how important it is that we choose our Mary carefully, because Mary is the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph and how God chose him to be Jesus' father. Well, I frankly never spend much time on Joseph because it's always Elmer Hopkins, and he knows all about Mary and Joseph.
Hopkins.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How could she be on the phone if she's in traction?
What do you think traction is?
Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck.
But I do explain about the wise men and the shepherds and how important they are, and I always say there are no small parts, only small actors. Oh, remind the angel choir not to stare at the audience, and don't let them wear earrings and things like that, and don't let them wear clunky shoes or high heels. There's nothing worse than that. I just hope you don't have too many baby angels, Grace, because
Make sure you leave some for the rest of us.
I'm hungry. Leroy Herdman stole my lunch again.
Does he always do that? How can you let him do that day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven. I'll get it.
you'll have to get someone to push the baby angels on. Otherwise, they bump into each other and bend their wings. Oh, and Bob can do that. Oh, and he could keep an eye on the shepherds, too. Oh, and another thing with the angel choir, don't let them wear lipstick. They think because it's a play, they have to wear...
Oh, someone at my door, Ellen. I gotta go. All right, I'll talk to you later. Oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, for heaven's sake.
What did she want this time?
Well, you look lonely at the table, and she seems lonely in the hospital.
It was lonely, but I don't think she'll ever be lonely in the hospital as long as the phones are working.
I'll bet she told you about no small parts, only small actors.
And getting someone to shove the baby angels on and making the shepherds shut up.
Mm-hmm. She actually suggested your father for that part.
this mean I have to go?
Yes. And Grace, don't choose just anybody's baby for the baby Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get two, and then if one gets fussy, switch them out. Grace. Grace. Grace.
My mother didn't pay attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said that she was sick in the hospital with nothing to do but think up problems. And there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, my mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, leader boy, you give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid. Here.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't here.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert every day. And you know what? I don't care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want at Sunday school.
Oh, yeah? What kind?
All kinds. Chocolate cake and candy bars and cookies and Twinkies and big.
Who gives it to you?
The minister.
What, is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school. Huh. That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans. And sure enough, the next Sunday, they were there at Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant? It's a play, like on TV. What's it about? It's about Jesus. Everything here is. And it's about Mary. It's mostly about Mary. Who's Mary? I am. Well, probably I am. I know part.
All right, everybody, come on, let's go. We have a lot to do today. Charlie, stop right there. I promise you, it's not going to be as bad as you think. Have a great time. And today is the day we are going to cast the main parts. Of course, everyone from big to small will have an important part to play. Isn't that what Mrs. Armstrong always says? There are no small parts, only small actors.
That's what he always says, but he never says what it means.
He never says what it means.
I know what it means. It means the short kids have to be in front of those angel guys, or else nobody can see them.
Not exactly. It means the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important. I still think it means the short kids have to be in front row.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. All right, is everyone here? Beverly, would you step out in the hall and make sure that everyone's made it in? Thank you. All right. First off, your little brothers and sisters will be part of our baby angel choir, and they're going to be so adorable, and everyone will love them. But they'll need bed sheets, so make sure your mothers are finding bed sheets for them. And the other ones of you that are angels will also need bed sheets. And some of you who are shepherds will need to borrow bathrobes. What's the matter? Oh, well, let's make some room for the Herdman. right here. Be here for every single one.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick, Elmer. It's especially important that our Mary and our Joseph don't get sick. They need to be here.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick.
If Beverly got sick, we didn't start yet.
Oh no, Beverly got sick. All right, let's begin. Let's think about Mary. Think of the kind of person she was. She was sweet and quiet and gentle and kind, and the person who plays Mary should try to be that kind of person. Would anyone like to volunteer for Mary? Oh, Imogen, did you have a question?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, let's just make a long list of everyone who wants to be each part, and then after that we'll decide who will play each role. So first off, I have Ralph Herdman volunteering for Joseph. Would anybody else like to be Joseph? Just raise your hands, volunteer. Elmer, do you want to be Joseph?
No.
Please try to participate so we can have people to choose from. Anyone? All right, Ralph Herdman is our Joseph. And Imogen has volunteered to play Mary. Would anyone else like to volunteer to play Mary? Roberta? Doris? Penelope? Anyone? Alice, did you want to volunteer for Mary?
No, I don't want
I'll be Mary.
Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, wise men are usually played by
Hey, I can be a
boys,
wise
but-
man. Me too. Claude, you want to be a wise man?
What's
Raise your
a
hand.
wise man?
Just raise your hand.
What's up to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who brings the good news of Jesus' birth to the shepherds. Oh, finally, some volunteers. Wonderful. Hobie, would you like to be a wise man?
No, I just wanted to say I can't be a shepherd. We're going to Philadelphia.
Well, why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered.
My mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Uh-huh. Why?
I don't know. She just said, don't be a shepherd.
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What is the matter with everyone?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Well, Gladys isn't going to hit anyone. The angel of the Lord just brings the good news to the shepherds.
And hits them.
Elmer, stop being ridiculous. All right, you all are shepherds. No one may quit or get sick. That's it for today, everybody. You may go. I want to see you here Wednesday, 6:30. Be on time. Alice, what is the matter? You don't know.
Mrs. Bradley, that's why I'm
I
calling
really
me.
expected you to volunteer for Mary.
Mrs. Bradley.
Oh,
Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogen would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be Mary in this play. And if you open your mouth or raise your hand, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, I'm always Mary in the Christmas pageant. And she says, go ahead then, and next spring when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick a pussy willow so far down your ear that nobody can reach it. And it'll sprout there and grow and grow. And you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
The Herdmans will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole play. It's all your mother's fault.
Jane, did you hear about the... Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. Yeah, how can 6 of them end up in the Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Mary, Irma Slocum, I just heard that Imogen Herdman will be Mary at the Christmas pageant, and all 6 of them? Oh, Vera, I live next next door to that outfit, and I swear I would rather live next door to the zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Emma Jean Herdman. What kind of a child is that to play Mary, the mother of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm shut in and he's not visiting me. Well,
We nailed
I
down.
think they
Nailed
just
down
hand
the
out
church.
programs.
Hide and put away the Christmas plates before the holidays.
Anyway,
Clean us up.
I feel responsible. If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened.
If I could up and around, it never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
You don't have to tell me, Grace. I'm fine. Where's this?
I was doing my best considering the circumstances, but now I'm going to make sure this is the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they were the ones to volunteer. I think it's only fair.
Great, Grace.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean that I have to?
Yes, you have to go. All right, everyone, come on stage. We got to go over a lot of things today, so make sure you are present and focused. Now, the inn will be back here off stage, and then the manger will be down here. The shepherds will gather
Where all
around
the
it.
shepherds come from anyway?
It's like a home. You're going to spend the night with people.
Jesus? Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
Pay their taxes.
A motel? Shut up, Ollie. Everybody just shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you heard the Christmas story from the Bible? All right then, that's what this pageant is. I guess I better read it to you.
I don't believe that. Do you? That they've never heard of the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they never went to church in their whole life. They're your dumb brothers when we brought refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right now. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant! She was pregnant!
All right, no, yes, we know that's what that means. Good job. Mary was pregnant. All right. And it came to pass.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant.
Firstborn
It's
son.
better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially not in
Because
church.
there was no room for them in the inn.
My God, they didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody knew he was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? You know what was the matter with Joseph that didn't tell them her pregnant and everything?
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use something else. What would you do if you had a baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in the bureau drawer.
Oh, well, see, you didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you used something else.
Oh, we had a bed. Only Ollie was still in it, and he wouldn't get out. He didn't like Gladys. Ollie, remember how you didn't like Gladys? That was pretty smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Oh, all right, let's keep going. Anyway, to answer your question, the manger is a feeding trough for animals.
What was wadded up clothes?
The what?
Said in there, she wrapped him up in wadded up clothes.
Oh, swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies up in long pieces of material to make them feel warm and
You mean they
cozy.
tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
Child welfare to our house every 5 minutes.
There was no child welfare in Bethlehem. I'll say there wasn't.
All right, and there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And behold, an angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord...
Out of the
frankincense, and myrrh.
What's that?
Well, there were special things like spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of present is that? We get better presents from the welfare.
Oh, well, these guys weren't welfare. They were...
They the welfare? The wise men?
No, they were kings.
Well,
and they were
about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, they can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
Well, actually they were sent by Herod, who was, well, in that region he was the main king, and he wanted to find out where the baby Jesus was so he could have him put to death.
My God, he just got born. They're gonna kill a
Who's
baby.
Herod in this play?
Oh, Herod isn't in our play.
We need out to kill a baby. He's not even in this play.
Well, somebody better be Herod. Hey, let Charlie be Herod. And then he says, go get me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's the king and all.
But then they don't do it. They go back and get Herod.
I'm not going to be Herod!
No one's going to be Herod!
No! Joseph gets the shepherds together and they go wipe out Herod!
Get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
Then I kick somebody out. I say, in the middle, please, and I've got this baby. So either get out or move over.
I said an angel after. She could just put her magic finger item and turn her into a pile of ash. What's the name of this place you never said?
Christmas pageant.
That's no name. That's what it is. I know it. I call it Revenge at Bethlehem. Revenge at Bethlehem. And the Herdmans thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked the right villain. It was Herod. They wanted to gang up on him and not the baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum. But Mrs. Slocum said she wasn't gonna let Imogene Herdman get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby Jesus. And that bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch up a baby, even at the last rehearsal.
All right, everyone.
What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
No, it's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It's not wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal too. If you shake the birthday bank, you don't hear a sound because they stole the pennies from it. And every time you go in the ladies' room, the whole air is blue and Imogene Herdman is sitting there in a Mary costume, smoking cigars.
And you wrote all that down? What for?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the whole Ladies' Aid Society and anyone else who wants to know what happened to the Christmas pageant turns out to be a big mess.
All right, everyone. We have a lot to do today. Alice, Beth, will you come down front where you're going to be to help the baby angels? This is our last rehearsal today.
Grace, I just wanted to let you know that we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cake, and we'll try not to bother you.
Well, I guess this is your dress rehearsal.
It's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, did I hear that you had a niece who just had a little baby girl? I was wondering if I could maybe call her up, ask if we could borrow the baby
Grace,
for
no,
Jesus and our
no. I could make up some lie and tell you that the baby is cranky or sick or something, but, well, to tell the truth, she's perfectly happy and healthy and beautiful, and we would love to keep her that way, so we are not about to hand her over to Imogene Herdman.
Mrs. Bradley, you can have my little brother for Jesus.
Oh, that's wonderful, David. I didn't know your family had a new baby.
He's not new, he's 4 years old, but he's double jointed and he could probably scrunch up.
I don't think that's such a good
I'll
idea.
get us, baby.
How would you do that, Imogene?
There's always 2 or 3 babies around the supermarket. I'll get one of
Oh,
that.
you can't just steal steal someone's baby. It's all right. We'll just have to use the doll.
Yeah, that's better anyways. A dog can't bite you.
Oh, and you know, Mary wouldn't wear earrings like these.
I have to wear these. I got my ears pierced. If I don't keep sitting in them, they'll grow together.
Not in an hour and a half they won't. What did the doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys.
She probably did it with an ice pick. I'll let her ears turn black and fall off.
And Imogene, is that what you're going to wear? Is that your costume? All of you! Where are all the costumes? This is our dress rehearsal!
I can't tie my halo. My wings got all wet.
Beverly's got my robe.
George has my halo.
No, I don't. I want to go home.
My mother doesn't have any white shoes. Can I wear a shoe with balloons on it?
I haven't got a costume. I was never a shepherd before.
You have to wear your father's bathrobe. That's what I have to do.
He hasn't got a bathrobe.
What did he hang around the house in?
His underwear.
Oh, okay. Let's just pretend we have costumes on today then.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes. But first, we're just going to practice our entrances. So get to your places, everybody. Let's go. Come on. And then after everyone's set in their places, good job, Maxine. You're going to stand right there and say the end of your line.
Shepherds keep watch over their flocks by night.
And we'll have music and shepherds. All right, come along, shepherds. Let's go. Go ahead, Beverly.
And suddenly, an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and out of the black sky,
All right, go on, Beverly.
a multitude of heavenly hosts.
Music, and then we'll have our baby angels come on in and they'll come down and sit on these steps looking cute as ever. All right, and then we'll switch to our music and we'll go to the wise men. You ready, wise men? You hear your music. You go.
I've got a baby here. I named Jesus. Don't touch him.
No, we don't say anything.
No, Joseph,
Don't say anything. Just stand there or sit there and look like a pretty picture for us to all think about Christmas and put that doll back.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel just walks up and tells me what to name the baby. I would have named him Bill.
Oh, what a terrible thing to say.
What angel is that? There's angels all over the place. Is that Gladys?
No, that wasn't Gladys. Gladys just brings the good news to the shepherds, remember?
Yeah. On to you and down the barn.
Unto me, not them, me. I'm the one that had the baby.
Well, yes, but it just means unto us, unto all of us, Jesus is born.
Why didn't Mary get to name her own baby? Did some angel just walk up and say, name Jesus?
Yes, I know what the angel said. She said, his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
My God, he'd never get out of the first grade if he had to write all that down.
5 minutes!
5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Imogene Herdman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. Then Mrs. McCarthy went in and saw all the smoke, and called the fire department. They came right away. They cleared the building and dragged through the church, looking for a fire to put out, but the only one they saw was in the kitchen. All the applesauce cake was burnt up. Then of course all the ladies were mad, and Mrs. McCarthy, and my mother.
Edna McCarthy, why would you call the fire department over a little smoke?
It was not a little smoke, it was a lot of smoke, and it was thick, and it filled the whole ladies' room.
Oh, no it didn't. You just got overexcited. Now we have the fire department everywhere. The baby angels are crying in the streets. The shepherds are climbing all over the fire engines. The neighbors are staring. Oh, couldn't you tell? It was cigar smoke.
Of course I couldn't tell it was cigar smoke. It was in the ladies' room of the church.
Oh.
Alice Wendelkin's mother was mad too, and the whole Ladies' Aid Society was mad. Reverend Hopkins said he didn't know what to think.
Grace? I have been on the phone all day, and I can't make heads or tails of it. Some people say they set fire to the ladies' room. Other people say they set fire to the kitchen. Vera Wendelkin says all they do is talk about sex and underwear.
That was Hobie Clark talking about underwear. And they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was the burned up applesauce cake in that kitchen.
Well, the whole church is in an uproar. I don't know. Jesus said, "Let the little children suck it unto me." But honestly, I'm not sure he meant the Herdmans. Grace, do you think we should cancel the pageant? Do you think we should cancel it?
I bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
We could blame it on the fire. It's a great excuse.
I bet that was Edna McCarthy's idea.
Everyone seems to think it's going to be a
Disaster?
yes.
They're wrong. This is going to be the best Christmas pageant we've ever had.
Grace, I don't think anyone will come see it.
I didn't think so either. Neither did Charlie, but we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the church was jammed full. Everybody came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Mark, watch your step. You see the light.
But what am I supposed to do with this thing anyway? Why do we have it?
That's supposed to be a palm tree. I see now it looks nothing like one. Oh dear. I have no idea how tonight's going to go at all. Not even once have we run through the whole show all the way. And the Herdman's still thinking some kind of spy story. It's going to be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph gets into a fight with the wise men. Mary runs away with baby Jesus. Oh. Where are the kids?
All the children in the world are downstairs in the basement putting on their bed sheets.
I mean our kids.
We're here.
It's almost pageant time. Finish putting on your costumes. Where are they? Come on.
It's just gonna be awful, you know. They look like trick or treat, all dirty and fastened with their moldy old sneakers. I mean, Mary and Joseph, they look like refugees or something.
That's what they were, in a way. They were refugees. They were in a place they weren't familiar with, didn't have any place to stay, food. But they were tired, hungry, cold, and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure are messy.
Do you think I should do something about all the messy?
It'll be fine. So, I will be handing out shepherd's crooks, shoving them on stage, shoving the baby angels on stage. When am I supposed to do all of this?
Just follow the script I gave you.
Okay. Baby angels, wise men, shepherds. When did the firemen come in? Just kidding, just kidding.
All right, everyone. The pageant night is here. Come on. I want to look at you. Get on stage. Aw, you're going to do a great job tonight, everyone. You're working very hard. Oh, Gladys, where's your halo?
Our cat buried it. Listen, I think I have to say something besides the baby. Why would anyone get up and tear off after some baby they don't even know? I have to tell him it's Jesus. And I have to tell him where he is.
No, Gladys, we've talked about this. Your only line is, unto you a child is born. That's all you say. All right, everyone. The audience is going to start arriving. Head back to the wings. Be really quiet. And good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, after don't say good luck, after say break a leg.
I know, but considering who we have here, break a leg is a theatrical expression. It does not mean break your leg or anyone else's. Oh, Imogene, try to remember that that's a baby. And for tonight, anyway, it's baby Jesus.
In the days of Caesar Augustus, a decree went out that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went to Bethlehem to marry his wife, who was great with child. And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son, wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room among the inn.
What was she doing with the baby? I don't think it's very nice to birth the baby Jesus as if he had colic.
He might have had colic just like any other baby.
I don't care. It looks awful. They look awful.
So what? They just
Ham? I'll bet they stole it.
I think it's ham from their welfare basket.
You mean it's their own ham? They must really hate ham then.
Even if they hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they ever gave away in their whole entire life.
Being warned in a dream not to return to their own country, the wise men departed a different direction. The shepherds also departed, singing and praising God for all they had seen and heard. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart.
Mary's crying. Mrs. Presley, Mary's crying.
Here we go.
It didn't seem real, as if it might have happened just that way. We all thought the Christmas pageant was about Jesus, but that was the only part of it. It was about a new baby who his mother and father were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, no food, no doctor, nobody they knew. Then arriving from the east, like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends. Because of the Herdmans, it was a whole new story. Imogene burping the baby, the wise men bringing such a sensible present, and even Gladys. He's in the barn, go see him. So the shepherds didn't have to stumble all over around the countryside. But I guess it wasn't like that for Imogene. For her, the Christmas pageant was a wonder of mystery. As if she just caught on what Christmas was all about. Afterwards, we had a party in the basement. But the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't drink any hot cocoa. They wouldn't even take their candy canes. And they wouldn't even take off with all the cookies.
Could you believe that was Imogene Herdman and all the rest of them?
No. You know, I always get teary to the carols and the children, but it was the best, and it should have been the worst.
Something was just different about it.
The angel of the Lord was different.
But you know, I liked that. Half the time you can't even hear the angel of the Lord. I've got to go tell Grace.
Okay.
You know, I really wish I had just let her have Eugene to be big Jesus.
Oh, that was just a doll.
Oh, pretty sure that was just a doll.
Wasn't it?
You can see Mom, they're real.
Oh, Shazam.
I think that's about everything. Is there anybody left downstairs?
No, they've all gone. Are you really gonna wear that robe home?
I don't see why not. I'd be honored to be considered a part of this Christmas pageant.
No, you wouldn't want to be taken as a shepherd. When it was over, this lady came up and hugged you. Should I bring this ham?
It's the Herdman's ham from their welfare basket. But wouldn't you believe it? They wouldn't take it back. Leroy said it's a gift. And apparently you don't take back gifts.
Leroy said that?
No.
They must hate ham.
You and Alice Wendlekin?
What about the lights?
Oh, they're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
It's almost midnight.
It's almost Christmas.
Kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie.